Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back to the show this morning. Today, we're going to examine the connection between Erica Kirk's Romanian orphanage experience and a particular scene in I, Pet Goat 2. This scene right here, by now you've all seen this thumbnail. I'm going to break this down. I put together this montage of this thumbnail from images from My Pet Goat 2 as well as Erica Kirk's past. Now, I want to be clear. There is a gaslighting campaign afoot happening against free thought. And I'm not accusing Erica Kirk of anything. We're simply comparing these elements of her past with these very odd synchronicities from this 2012 animated film. A film in which she was 24 years old, 12 and 12, 2012, and today is 12/12. I think this was the date that we were meant to find all this. Now, let's dive in. Let me check in with you guys. We're going to dive into this image. We're going to break down every element of this image. We're going to look at the synchronicities. We're going to look at how the heck the Turning Point logo essentially shows up on the floor in a 2012 animated film, the very year that Turning Point was founded. Now let that sink in for a second, and I'll check in with you and we'll start to break this down. Good morning, everybody. I don't know what's going on my screen this morning. Let's see here. Let's find you guys. There you are. Okay. Let's get into this. Now, again, to my shock, the timeline of when I, Pet Goat 2 released in 2012 also overlaps a particular period in Erica Kirk's life. A period in which she was in a Romanian orphanage. Here is a screenshot of her. That's her in the middle. I amplified her face so you can see it amidst the backdrop of roughly 12 children. Same image here, an I, Pet Goat 2. She was 24 years old when this released. A woman sitting in the middle of 12 figures. Now, there's a little bit more to this because Turning Point was actually founded in 2012. How can all this be? June 5th, 2012, the eve of 6/6. June 5th, 2012. Now, there's a little bit more to this. Erica Kirk was 12 and 12 years old. She was 24 when Turning Point was founded, and as well as when I, Pet Goat 2 came out. In fact, I, Pet Goat 2 came out just a few weeks after Turning Point was founded. And Obama was president. And both Obama and this figure that seems to look like Erica Kirk appear in I, Pet Goat 2. Here you can see the shoe of Obama. And in the animation, it actually pans out. And you can see Obama, and he's actually a huge part of this animation if you haven't seen it yet. He's sitting in a chair after he had morphed into Obama from Bush. So they depict Bush first, and then he basically morphs into Obama. And then this apple rolls across the floor. There you see a variation on the Turning Point logo. I superimposed the Turning Point logo so you could see the comparison. And then this arrow-like smear on the floor, this black arrow, as if the arrow of the Turning Point has been broken off and redirected. 12 and 12 is 24. 12 faceless children, which would be children with no identity. Orphans, wrapped in barbed wire. Now, we had already decoded this scene many times. There is a possible Ukraine trafficking connection that we already uncovered during this period in history when Obama was president. You see, this I Pet Goat 2 girl is also the girl at the Holodomor monument in Kiev, which memorialized the starvation of thousands of people in the Ukraine by the Russians. Let's pull that up. It's the same image. We decoded this weeks ago, actually months ago. The girl in the circle with the roses and the apple. Okay, this was a monument. It was about starvation. She's in a circle, just like I Pet Go 2. She's in the circle. Here's the video that we did. Starting with Ukraine's creepy biolab and Obama. And that was in 2022. And then here is the Ukraine memorial. Lily, apples, roses in a circle in I Pet Go 2 before it existed. We aired that on June 26th of this year. And here is the thumbnail. There you see the apples. You see the roses. You see the girl in the circle, just like she's in the circle here, the golden circle. Now we're going to talk about this golden circle because this goes deep. It all connects together. There are many layers of this image, layers upon layers of meaning. A nested meaning, which would be appropriate, right? Nested dolls, Russian dolls. Now, how is Obama connected to all this? Well, as I said, the biolabs that he set up in the Ukraine during his presidency, he was the one who originated that deal. And I hadn't found a direct trafficking connection, but there sure is a lot of interest in the Ukraine going back several presidencies, isn't there? So again, this is Obama's foot. Now, what have we found in terms of Obama and this connection? Well, the Obama figure in the animation has his foot over a coin. You can see it right here. And this is a direct reference to Panikovsky and the little golden calf. Here's the monument here. The foot over the coin in Kiev, Ukraine. Now, we had found this about a decade ago. We found this connection to little golden calf, and of course, the little golden calf is Molech, sacrificing your children to Molech in the fire. The golden calf. Now, the obvious inference of this scene in I Pet Go 2 is trafficking, child trafficking. Now, how that relates to Obama and Erica Kirk, we don't know. That's for you to decide. I'm simply showing you these strange connections. The barbed wire, the children with no face, the Kiev memorial, the girl in the circle with the apple and the rose in her hair. Blown away. Now, other proof that we have that I Pet Go 2 is about child trafficking is, of course, the goat in the crate. Let's look it up. The opening sequence of I Pet Go 2 is a goat in a crate. Here it is here. Being shipped behind barbed wire, the barcode on his forehead and a bell around his neck. Bells are put around the neck of animals so they could be found. You can hear the animal off in the distance. So it's like some kind of tracker, which would coincide with the barcode on the forehead of this goat. So to them, the goat are the children trafficked in these crates This is what iPad Go 2 was all about to begin with. Again, I don't know how this connects directly to Obama, who was president at the time that this came out, or Erica Kirk, who was 12 and 12 and 24 years old, with the 12 figures behind her. I have no idea how that connects, but I'm showing you the connections. Now, again, the apple rolls, she drops the apple, and it falls and rolls across the floor right about through here. It stops at Obama's foot. The apple opens after it rolls across what appears to be a turning point logo with the arrow broken off, pointing back to the girl at the center of the floor. Now, the makers of iPad Go 2 are French-Canadian, and they say that this girl's name is Lily. So, what does all that mean? Well, we covered it in this video, and I'll put a link to this video for you, this video here, because I talk about Lily and the apple and all of that, and the rose and the circle. So I'll link that at the end of the show today. Now, what else is going on? Well, there is a group of photos out on the internet of Erica Kirk from this time period in history. And she's in Romania at these orphanages. Now, we know that wealthy people who might not be so friendly to children actually pretend to help children. We know this. I'm not saying that this applies to Erica Kirk. What I'm saying is Oprah works with orphanages. And who else worked with orphanages? That would be Epstein. So I found this bizarre photo. Now, in this photo, let's see what year this is. 2012. She was 23 years old. Her birthday is not till November. This is her posing with, I believe these are Romanian soldiers. Here's the caption here. And she's holding a weapon. Now, I don't know what the weapon is. I don't know if that's important. What's important is she seems to know how to handle that weapon at 23 years old. And then I noticed something in the background. See the exit door behind her? That's ajar. It's half open or open part of the way. Well, that's exactly what we see in iPad Go 2. The door is ajar. Exit. What is happening here? Is this some kind of quantum entanglement? 13 years ago. There's the wide shot. Unbelievable. Now, you could say that's just a random door, a random exit door. So why are there bullet holes in the children? The faceless children. And what's this about? Roughly 12 children in a photo with her at the center. And what about the turning point logo? With the arrow broken off. The Obama connection. Her being 12 and 12 years old. Today being 12/12. The year being 2012. Some pretty damning connections, aren't they? And it's for you to decide what all this means. Again, I'm just presenting it to you. Now, the other thing that I noticed is that the school connection, right? Why does all this happen at these schools? Charlie was at a college, of course, a school. Obama, Handy Sook, It's just weird. And of course, the majority of Obama's presidency was these scrutings, we have to call them. Now, I wanted to dig into Obama's background because, some people believe that, oh, I only pick on Trump. No, we've been at this for a long time. 13 years we've been at this. And we've been, digging into every president since, right? It's just some people are new to the channel and they're like, why are you picking on him? Oh, we pick on the Democrats too. So what is up with this? Well, I wanted to look into this whole thing about Obama and Romania. And apparently there is a connection because I wanted to see if, Erica was working with Obama on this. These Romanian orphanages. Now, I could not find a direct connection, but what I did find was that there was an Obama Foundation, a program that supported leaders and organizations working to help vulnerable youth and reform child care systems. There was a CEO of the Romanian nonprofit named Adriana Preda, Preda, who works with orphaned youth to prevent human trafficking and promote integration. This work is focused on positive social impact. Whoa. An autographed memoir by Barack Obama, A Promised Land, was auctioned in Romania in 2021 to raise funds for supporting early education. The issue of Romanian orphanages, notorious for the dire conditions during and after the Ceausescu regime, has been a subject of international news and charity work for decades. The topic sometimes appears in news archives, including a mention of a student wearing an Obama mask and a story about Romanian orphans. Wow. Now, what else did we find? So I looked into Adriana Preda and Erica France, which of course is Erica Kirk. And the AI says two different people, but they had roles that almost seemed to cross over during a particular time period. This is 2023, 2024. So that might be Adriana Preda, might be a different time frame, but this is a little bit weird. Now, the organization that Erica worked for was called the Romanian Angels. And here's yet another bizarre iPad Goat 2 crossover. Because angels wear golden halos, don't they? Is this Erica Kirk, the Romanian angel, with the halo? Wow. And that brought me to something I wasn't expecting to find. Are you ready for this? The plight of the Romanian orphans goes all the way back to after the Cold War in the 1980s. And here's a particular album that was made called Nobody's Child. Nobody's child because they have no identity. The faceless children. Now, what is this album about? Well, it has some questionable people attached to it. It was a charity album released in 1990 to benefit the Romanian orphans under the auspices of the Romanian Angel Appeal Foundation. The very infancy of the company that Erica Kirk likely worked for, it has to be the same Romanian Angel, right? It was compiled by English rock musician George Harrison in response raised by his wife Olivia Harrison. Now, what strikes me as odd is that this Nobody's Child reminds me of Virginia Giuffre's book, Nobody's Girl. Here's the album cover. An angel and a child with whatever this is poking up through the bottom. Now, a lot of people are involved in this album. People that have now become famous and were famous. People who, some question their background. Some of these people have been there's been rumors. I don't know if they've been officially accused. But let's read some of these people. Stevie Wonder, Paul Simon, Eric Clapton, Duane Eddy, Van Morrison, Guns N' Roses, Ringo Starr, Rick Ocasek, and the famous Elton John, who we saw wearing red shoes while a child was next to him while he was playing the piano. Some people connected to this album were Michael Jackson as well, even though he did not perform for the album or submit a song. The foundation was Romanian Angel Appeal marked a rare foray into the media spotlight by Olivia Harrison. So Olivia Harrison was connected to the Romanian Angel, who created the foundation with support from other wives of the former Beatles, Barbara Bach, Yoko Ono, Linda McCartney. She and her husband promoted the project in the UK with appearances in the television talk show Wogan and the 1-hour Radio 1 documentary Nobody's Child. Here are the songs, the song selection. Bruce Springsteen was asked to submit a track and he did not reply. And Michael Jackson was approached as well. But they say he was confused in the acrimony taking place between Jackson and Paul McCartney over the ownership of the Beatles. So he was in a legal battle with Paul McCartney. And Steve Winwood and Queen submitted songs, but they were too late to be included in the album. Now here is the song tracks. Here are the song tracks, sorry. Nobody's Child, Wonderful Remark, Medicine Man, This Week, Homeward Bound, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, Love Child, Big Day, Little Boat, Feeding Off the Love of the Land, That Kind of Woman, Good Night, Little One, The Trembler, Ain't That Peculiar, Civil War, With a Little Help from My Friends. It almost reads like a confession. Wow. Now, that's pretty much all I had for you guys on all of this. I'm back in the chat to get your thoughts on this. Please thumbs up and share this video. Again, I'm not telling you how to think. I'm simply presenting to you very odd synchronicities in a 2012 animated film that's 7 minutes long that seems to suggest that they were trying to disclose something in plain sight. Just way too many synchronicities. I think whatever information there is out there on Romanian angels is probably the key to unlocking the rest of this. Most of the information has been scrubbed from the internet, but of course there are books and things that they can never take away. And, microfiche and archives and things like this that might reveal the truth about the Romanian angels going back all the way to the 1980s. And most importantly, right around the time of 2012 when iPet Go 2 came out. My guess is that is the key to unlocking the secret behind this organization, whether they're benevolent or malevolent. We don't know, right? There's no proof of anything. But all of these synchronicities seem to show something, don't they? All right. Good morning. So what do you guys think about all this? Now, of course, the Civil War has gone off the rails. MAGA has imploded. There's now a full-blown battle going on between Turning Point USA and pretty much the rest of the conservatives out there that have now sided with Candace Owens, who are searching for the true killer of Charlie Kirk. Nobody's buying the narrative. We had a bizarre appearance by the so-called killer, the patsy many believe, in the courtroom, smiling and laughing. People are enraged by this. Okay, all this stuff's popping off. This is the first appearance of this guy in court, because a lot of people are like, is this guy even real? And still, none of the questions are being answered. So this is where we're at with all this. All right. Now, Sunday, we're going to get caught up on recent developments in the headlines. And there is some stuff popping off. Maduro has now responded to his tanker being seized, and it's kind of funny. So, and all kinds of other stuff going on. House explosions. I got a lot of stuff to cover. I just don't want to overwhelm you guys with all that today, because I really wanted to focus on these connections with Erica Kirk to iPet Goat 2. Wow. Goats in crates, you guys. Goats in crates. Now, I think for a long time, we probably thought that the goats in the crate were all of us. That was my rendition of iPet Goat 2. I mean, I've seen it 1,000 times. I thought, oh, the goat in the crate, that's just us, you know? But then if you really think about it, crates are used to ship things. It's trafficking. That's what it was from the very beginning. The faceless children in the classroom. Orphanages have classrooms. I'm just shocked we didn't see it sooner. But that has to be what it's about. To me, it's confirmed. So, all right. Anything else you guys want to talk about? You guys want to do a poll today? Goats willful, sheep follow without question. That's a great point, Matt. Yep, goats, baby goats are called kids. Yes, Gerald, good point. Once again, you couldn't find anything substantial. Actually, it's just the opposite. As I said, Obama was president during that time. We did a whole expose exposing Obama in this video. So we were already talking about him in 2022 while Trump was president inside Ukraine's creepy biolab. So essentially, Obama was the one who originated the biolabs, okay, in Ukraine. But they were doing other things over there. And we exposed much of that also in this Ukraine memorial. And of course, the golden calf. I don't know if you were listening during that portion, but I showed you how the coin under Obama's foot is the little golden calf, and that's sacrificing children to Molech in the fire. This is the book, The Little Golden Calf, the Panikovsky Monument. Now, we covered all this years ago. You know, there was a president before Trump, and every other day we were talking about Obama. Now, you're not going to find those videos probably because YouTube went through and burned down all the channels. So I had to remove a lot of those. But if you stay current with the channel, whenever there's a Democrat president, we'll be covering that president as well, just like we covered and exposed Biden when he was president and all of his agendas, the green agenda, the electric kingdom. But understand that each of these presidents just continues on the same agenda. And even though Trump has pulled the electric car mandate off the table, that's about the only thing that's changed. Then you tune out, and then it's done. Uh-oh. Did they throw me off? Let's see here. I don't see our... Oh, okay. There it is. All right. So, yeah. That's what they want you to do. They want you to go, he only talks about that person. And then you tune out. And then it's done. Uh-oh. Wow. So, wow, that was crazy. Yeah, little buffering. Yeah, they're all wicked. Yeah, Trump, Obama, they're all wicked. They all work with each other. They set each, it's a chessboard essentially. This is why, this is why in I Pet Goat 2, there's a checkerboard floor. This is why Bush transforms into Obama. They're the same puppet with a different side. Black versus white. It's the duality. We've been exposing that the whole time. It's the duality. Okay? Don't get it twisted. There is no one worse than the other. They all work together. They all work together. They advance the agenda. What is the agenda? Well, we detailed that on other videos. The agenda is total and complete surveillance. I don't know if you've heard this by now, but Trump is now saying, if you want to come into this country on a visa, and I don't know what kind of visa, I don't know if it's just a regular old 3-month visa, right? Because you can, we're all allowed to travel for 3 months to other countries. And then in the European Union, I don't know what the rules are when you come here, how long you can stay. But for a simple visa, Trump is requiring 5 years of social media. Now, I know for a fact, those of you in the UK who are like in our truth community, if you were to submit 5 years of your social media, you will probably be denied a visa to come visit the United States. Now, where do you think all this is headed? Oh yeah, this is great, Casey. We don't want. Okay, these are people from Western countries, right? The UK, other Western countries, European Union. And what do you think they're doing with our social media? If they're saying that they're requiring social media from citizens outside of the United States, then of course they're looking at our social media. What are they doing with that information if they feel so strongly about it, about people from other Western nations? Well, there's an indicator of our future. So again, the story goes, if you don't stand up for other groups of people, then you yourself will become that group that nobody stands up for. If you're okay with someone digging through another Western country's social media to deny them the right to travel, then we deserve what we're going to get. If you think that's okay, then we deserve what we're going to get, which is that will be rolled out to the rest of us. Now, we all know about social credit scores and all that, but there will be a lot worse things are going to happen before we even get to that. Essentially, they're caging all of us. They're caging us. And they're probably already doing it. Many of us who have certain views are already electronically harassed, hence why today's video will never go viral. We've already been electronically harassed and silenced. Okay, it's already happening. Imagine waking up every day and dedicating 7 hours of your life to only be speaking to the same people, which is great, but how effective is that in helping the rest of the people wake up? It's not that the information isn't relevant, that the rest of the world might not want to see this information. It's that it's being suppressed. It's not being allowed to escape our silo, you see? So we've already experienced electronic harassment. So it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And this should enrage people. This should enrage you. So, yes, Trump said he doesn't need God to forgive him. Pure blasphemy. Yep. We've been caged. We've been caged. Probably, I think COVID was when they essentially were able to tighten the screws on everything. They had everybody home. They could go and, work on the infrastructure, get everything up to snuff, get the network in place, get the AI up and running. Trump AI. So, yep, they got us in an echo chamber. Correct. Yes, shadow banned. The only reason why you guys show up is because you care and you remember. But understand that, like, for instance, if a notification did not go into your feed, you would still remember to come back for the show. This is why we do the daily show. So there's a repetitive, a way for you to remember. It's like an alarm clock, right? You wake up every day. At a certain point, you don't even need the alarm clock because you're just going to wake up. It's this. This is why we do the daily shows. It's not because, I want to work on my YouTube channel 7 hours a day, every single day. It's a dedication to get us into a routine. Because without the routine, if I were to only upload like once a week or twice a week, most of you would probably fall out too. You'd be like, forget about it. But it's like a morning show that we do. So I appreciate you guys showing up. I appreciate your dedication, but I just want you to understand what's happening. Okay. It's intentional. The people that disagree with them, even though we never call for violence, and I would never, ever ask you to do something violent. Heck, I don't even show up to protests, and I don't even think you guys should show up to protests. But by simply thinking something different than the government, you become a target in terms of them shutting down your voice. It's just the truth. And the indicator is these rules that Trump has put on Western countries that travel back and forth to the United States. He's asking for 5 years of your social media. Now, Call for an Uprising did a great reveal on exactly what things would disqualify you from obtaining a visa to come from the UK to the United States, for instance. He did a deep dive on that, and he showed you all the things that could disqualify you. They actually have it ranked. So it says people who are skeptical about vaccines, you could be disqualified from a visa. The simple things, simple free thought. Essentially, it's free thought. So if you don't believe the official narratives of anything, of health, of politics, of all these things, you can now be denied a visa to come and visit the United States, even if you're from the UK and the European Union. Now, what kind of world do you remember? What kind of world did we wake up in? And people are okay with this? Why? Because the right-left paradigm is so strong, and they've created so much shortage in our country that we now see everyone as our enemy. I had a feeling. Let's say it that way. Many of you know I lived in France for a couple of years, and it was just time to go. Even my best friend Mark really doesn't understand why I had to leave, but you get a feeling, right? You get a feeling and you go with that feeling. I knew it was time to go. Well, we're to the point now where I probably couldn't even return there. I even thought about, staying there permanently at some point, but you get to the point where you start realizing the world around you is changing. We got to enjoy free travel for decades, right? For decades, Americans and people from the UK and European Union will travel back and forth with no problems. And now we live in an era where everyone's so divided and tricked by the right-left paradigm that we're okay with shutting down borders. Travel, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about illegal immigration. I'm talking about travel. And I knew that this would segue into regular old travel. I knew it was just a matter of time. They're actually talking about creating a demilitarized zone at the southern border. In other words, a buffer zone. This is now in talks with the Trump administration. Essentially, it would be like a Gaza Strip without the people in it. So it would be all military. This is being talked. Let's look it up. Let's see here. Buffer zone border. Let's see if this is in the headlines. U.S. Mexico. What this would mean is if you needed to escape, you can't escape. Here we go. Gosh, this was earlier this year. I thought this was more recent news. But they've established these buffer zones at the border just after Trump became president. And some people say, oh, this is great. Well, look what's happening with Gaza. Now, again, people aren't going to be living in this buffer zone. But it's essentially, there's no escape at that point. Even if you wanted to, even if you had to, there's no escape. That's a little bit creepy, isn't it? 2025? Wait a minute. I thought things were supposed to get better with more technology. People are supposed to be freer. And slowly, the whole world is becoming militarized. It's backwards world. How are we becoming more militarized when all this technology is supposed to help us be more free? Well, they'll blame it on all of us, right? Oh, it's your fault. Crime, drugs, lawlessness. We have to do this, is what they say. So something is wrong, isn't it? For those of us that are awake, we know something's wrong. So things have gotten worse. Really what it is, it's shortage. Let me tell you what's really wrong in society, okay? It's shortage. The cost of living has gone up. Wages have not followed. People are desperate. They're looking for alternative ways to make money. Heck, I just read about a drug bust on I-40 in Arkansas. They seized like millions of what was it? Let's see here. It popped up on my phone. Arkansas. Let's take a look here. So, 221 pounds of pot. That was 2 weeks ago. What's up with my news? So they seized all this pot going through apparently I-40 is a corridor for this stuff. That much, they were rich. They were like the construction workers. They had money for an apartment, a car, and to do fun things on the weekend. And now, nothing. Let me close some of these windows. That could be the problem. Boom. Boom. Let's close that one. So now, here we are, right? Things have gotten worse. All right. Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, nobody's warning about this. The churches aren't warning. They're not ringing the alarm bells. It's the false prophet. What is a false prophet? Well, this is a great Bible study. Oh, Casey never tells us to go to the Bible. Absolutely 100% false. We're under AI attack with fake comments of complete lies. Almost every single show, I ask you, okay, here's a good Bible study. Or, hey, look into this, look into that. A good Bible study is to look up false prophet in the Bible. And every single time you look up false prophet, it's a prophet who tells you things are getting better and there's no judgment coming. That's the definition of a false prophet in the Bible. It's a really great Bible study, by the way. It's a lot of fun. The false prophet tells you everything's going to be okay. A golden age. There's no problem with the affordability of food. It's a hoax. There are no Epstein files. It's a hoax. See the problem? Yeah, we're getting electronically attacked this morning. It's okay. Hopefully you guys can still hear. The real prophets talk about God's judgment. Those are the real prophets. Now, I'm not calling myself a prophet, but I am telling you that judgment is here and things are not good. It's getting worse. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Apparently, we're having some issues. I love each and every one of you. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Much love. Take care.